My name is Nicole Coleman, and I'm really happy that I get to introduce Impuls Deutsch 2 to you today. I will split this in two parts. So in this video, you will learn about the first part of the book, and then I will give you another video soon about the second part of the book. So what you can look forward to are our true and tried aspects from book 1. So we continue, of course, our flipped classroom model with Lernen, Machen, Zeigen. We still have Vertiefungsstunden for flexibility and planning. Each chapter ends with a project. We have interdisciplinary, interactive, intercultural content. We have our Musik- and Video-Ecken, our Chromatic and Decken activities, Kulturpunkte, Verstanden und Sprechmal-Segments, and I could go on and on and on. But we also have some new things, of course. Steffen already talked about our extensive reading. Check it out if you haven't watched that video yet. And then we are now in our second year of learning. So we see this book very much as a bridge to seminars, and this is even more so the case for the second part of the book, so I'll get more into that then. But even in the beginning, we're trying to really tell a story with each of these chapters and have them at least loosely connected and much more clearly connected for the second part. So, what is this first part of the book all about? We start in chapter 1 with Was war da los? Ost-West-Geschichten. And as you can already see in the title, this is a perfect chapter to introduce all past tenses and temporal clauses. So that's our grammar story. And then the stories that we tell within the chapter are aimed to decenter West German norms that we just find way too often. So we look at the wall, at freedoms, at youth movements, at women, and many other topics comparatively from East and West perspectives. To do so, we had an expert, or rather a colleague of mine who grew up in the East at the exact time when I grew up in the West. And the two of us recorded conversations under the title Zugehört, where we talk about some daily topics, everyday topics, and show how a socialization in different parts of the country leads to completely different or similar perspectives in parts. So perspective taking is really at the heart of this chapter, questioning historiography, truth telling, and so on. So there's a lot of potential here to also pick up on later in a seminar maybe. Chapter 2 asks, wer würde sich trauen? You already see the conjunctive, so that's the grammar here. And the content is about roller coasters, thrill-seeking hobbies, but all the way to the biological and psychological aspects of fear. We begin with fairs, including the Oktoberfest, but then move to amusement parks and look at them from many different angles and perspectives, also cultural ones, like cultural theme worlds that are done with more or less cultural sensitivity. But then our focus is on the history, engineering, design of roller coasters. An engineer expert made sure we got our physics right. And of course, have you ever heard Nico talk about his engineering and German classes? You know that this is his Steckenpferd, his signature, of course. But there are so many aspects in there that are for every student. It was a really fun chapter to teach. Chapter 3, Wie wird das gemacht? Looks at Switzerland as a producing country. Margaret Singeler was our Switzerland expert for this chapter, and here we cover things that come to mind right away, such as clocks, cheese, and chocolate. But then we also look at lesser known Swiss products, and the structure in this chapter actually follows the different language regions of the country, and we highlight products from each region. And also language, we look at varieties. We also look at Rätoromanisch, which was super fun to write and also to teach, because I had no idea about that language before, and so it's not all German here. But also the products and production processes that we cover here allows us to seamlessly introduce and use passive voice. And so that's the grammar focus in this chapter and just comes naturally, which is great. Chapter 4 asks, Wie leben wir nachhaltig? And addresses the environment and sustainability, but with a twist. So units cover students' own position in the environment, their carbon footprints, also look at German-speaking countries' history and current politics regarding the environment. But then we move to communication principles and how the media communicate sustainability. And all of this then culminates in a project for which students develop a communication strategy that aims to convince people to live more sustainably. I was able to pilot this first part of the second volume last semester, and my students commented not only on the fun they had with the different topics, also I had fun with them, but also about how everyone found something they were interested in, from history to literature, from physics to psychology. Every major, every interest was represented. And the results for the projects were stunning, especially the theme parks that they planned for chapter 2. I got, yeah, I bragged. I bragged about them. They were really, really cool. And of course, that's what makes teaching is so rewarding, to see what students come up with. So I want to tell you again to go to the CLEP page and check out some sample material to see what this is all about. And then next time I will talk about the second part. Until then, have a good week.